Well, we need to understand this is a very dangerous situation, um, because as the fact is, the United States has 1,100 troops on the ground in Niger. France has thousands of troops on the ground in Niger. Germany has a military presence. Um, it's also an important geopolitical um, issue. France has extensive economic interests in Niger. The uranium mines help power France's electrical grid. Um, France cannot lose this source of uranium. This is an existential question for France. So the issue is there a way to peacefully resolve the situation? Right now, the United States, France, and ECOWAS, this alliance, ostensibly economic, but more importantly, a security alliance of West African nations, is demanding the return of the constitutional authority. That is the Nigerian president that was ousted in this coup. That doesn't seem to be something that's going to happen on its own volition. And so the West now has two options. One, to intervene militarily, to try and restore constitutional authority, or two, to accept the new reality and try to negotiate a viable outcome, one that would respect France's economic interests, especially in the uranium mines, and two, would sustain the U.S.-led security presence in Niger, which is ostensibly to contain and disrupt Al Qaeda and ISIS operations in the Sahel region. The United States and France used to have a significant presence in Mali. They've been evicted. Burkina Faso is no longer on their side. What we're seeing is an anti-colonial revolt amongst West African states, primarily Franco states that used to be in the French colonial sphere of influence, and which France retained significant influence over in the post-colonial era. We need to also note that Algeria, while they have voiced insisted that the constitutional order be restored, they have said that any military intervention into Niger, outside military intervention, would be resisted by Algeria, that Algeria would come to the assistance of those who are being attacked. ECOWAS has issued an ultimatum that if constitutional authority isn't restored, there will be military intervention. France has threatened this. Right now, it looks like there's going to be a war. And if there's a war, this is going to be a broader war. This is going to be a war that involves Burkina Faso, Mali, perhaps Guinea supporting. All three of these nations are nations that are suspended from their ECOWAS membership. And so they're forming sort of a counter ECOWAS together with Niger. They all possess significant military power. It's not going to be a pushover. This would be large-scale fighting, which no nation outside of maybe Nigeria is prepared to be engaged with. And the question is, can the United States and France sustain such a military intervention? Are we capable of winning, of prevailing? A large number of U.S. forces will be at risk. The 1,100 troops that are currently in Niger are not sufficient in their own right to have the security necessary in a hostile country. It would require either their evacuation, which the United States does not want to do, given that we just spent $100+ million building a base in Niger, from which we operate drones that we consider to be essential to our security efforts in the region. France, likewise, is not going to withdraw on its own volition. So there's this. A conflict isn't just about West African states driving troops across the border. It's about the United States and France engaging in a major military intervention that would be a distraction from what's going on in Ukraine right now. And the question is, um, can either nation pull it off? The United States can. The United States has significant military resources. We have plenty of power that has not been projected into Europe that's available for this. The Marine Corps, especially, has forces capable of doing this. The Army has um, airborne forces that can intervene rapidly. The Air Force has expeditionary air power that can intervene. Um, France can't do so without American help, but clearly they'll have America on their side. Um, this is a very dangerous situation. I think that we could very realistically see within a week or so a major land war breaking out in Africa, probably the largest land war that Africa's seen in its modern history.